Hi everyone, I'm April, and you're watching the Tangled Cat Speaks book edition. Um, it has been not quite 2 weeks since I last updated you all on what I'm reading, so I thought I would pop in tonight because I do have quite a few books that I got through. Um, so let's get started with that. Um, so the first book that I read since the last video is Sad Cypress, which is an Agatha Christie book starring Hercule Poirot, my favorite Agatha Christie character. This one is one that I had not read before, and it is about a young woman who is accused of murdering another young woman by poison. Um, this one was really interesting because um, it kind of it starts out in a courtroom, and then basically we're getting the story through witnesses. And then when it starts to really look like this person is going to be found guilty, one of her friends kind of gets a hold of Poirot and says, please, you got to figure this out because I know she didn't do it. And so he comes in about halfway through the book. So he went through and he interviewed everybody just the way that the police had. And of course, he finds out different things because he notices different things. Really good story. And I like that it was basically a courtroom drama kind of thing. Really enjoyed that one. That is one that I owned on my Kindle. Um, and that is going towards the 100 books that I am trying to read before I buy any new books. Um, the other one that I owned, no, that's a big fat lie. Never mind. That was actually the only one that I owned that I read in this section. So as of right now, I have read 7 books for my 100 book challenge. Let's see. So a lot of these I got from the library, and a lot of these are audio. Don't ask me why I have dozens and dozens and dozens, probably more like hundreds of books that I own, whether it's physical, ebook, audiobook that need to be read, and I still go to the library. I love that place so much. Plus, I love doing the online thing. They use not Kindle, Hoopla, and Libby, and I can do ebooks and audiobooks on there without even actually having to go to the library. But I still have been going to the library to get stuff. So some of the audios that I got, one was called Dyeing Up Loose Ends, and this is by Maggie Sefton. It's a knitting cozy mystery series, and I believe this is the last one in the series. I had noticed in the last couple of books in this series that I was just kind of not feeling it. Like, I don't know, after an author's been doing the same series for so long, they kind of lose their steam. And this one definitely felt like this was definitely the last book. It was just it felt kind of half-hearted. But it was mostly it was, I would say, 75% of the book was recounting other books, like other murder mysteries that this protagonist had been involved in, amateur sleuthing and everything. And I don't know why this piece of hair wants to do that. Anyway, so she's recounting to a younger person, um, yeah, this happened. Oh, and tell me about this thing. And I heard about this. And it's basically just recounting all of the previous books. There is its own murder mystery to be solved within this one, but it was, like I said, kind of very half-hearted, and it was just not interesting. Definitely was the least of the entire my least favorite of the entire series, and I'm really glad that it's kind of done. I was already starting to feel, like I said, that this was becoming kind of tedious of a series for me to read, and yeah, so it's done. I'm done with that one. Let's see. So another audio book I got from the library. Actually, I got two other ones. They are by Carleen O'Connor. She does some Irish mysteries. I'll have to put up here the name of the series because I don't remember what it is, but these books are called Murder in Galway, and the other one is Murder in Connemara. And they're cozy mysteries. Again, amateur sleuth. The first book, Murder in Galway, involved a girl from the United States. Her mother was Irish, and had been estranged from her brother for many, many years. She never met her uncle. Her mother passed away, and she's going to Ireland to meet her uncle. She wanted to get to know the last bit of her family. And when she gets there, she lands smack dab into a murder mystery. She thought it was her uncle because she'd never seen her uncle before. And so she sees this dead man lying on the floor of his home, of her uncle's home. So naturally she assumed it was him. Went and told the whole town, "Oh my gosh, yes, I found my uncle, blah 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 blah." And everybody's like, "What?" And then come to find out that he's not dead. But it was a really, really good story. The second book, Murder in Connemara, was she decides to stay at this point. She decides to stay in Ireland, and again, another murder kind of falls into her lap, and she's trying to figure out what's going on alongside the police. And both of them are really, really fun. Just really simple, lighthearted, easy to follow books, and they're really good for background. So not a whole lot to really say about those ones, but they're just super fun. And again, those were audiobooks that I borrowed from the library. And then a physical book that I borrowed from the library is Girl in Ice. And this is by Erica, I don't know how to pronounce the last name, Ferencik? I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry. But this, it was about a young woman who had a twin brother who had died while he was doing some research at a Antarctic research station kind of thing, and very, very cold temperatures, and he can't get where they go in, and for months at a time it's super dark and they're stuck there, they can't get out, they're just there doing their research. Well, he ends up dying, and they assume that everybody just assumes that it's suicide, that he went outside into the cold on purpose, knowing that it's too damn cold to be out there. And this girl, or this young woman, she is called by one of her brother's mentors and co-workers at this experimental station, and says, "Hey, we've got something for you, if you can come help us." She's really good with languages. I don't know all the terms. Not a professional person, me. But anyway, so she's really good with languages, especially languages in like Greenland, and the local languages and historic languages in that area. And so they send for her, and she's just a nervous wreck because she just is that kind of person. She doesn't like going anywhere that she doesn't absolutely have to go. When she does go places, she's very much full of anxiety. She takes medications for that. And she's like, "I don't want to go. I don't want to go all the way to Greenland. That's terrifying. But because there's something between her and her father, he always doted on the brother. And now that the brother's passed away, he kind of Yeah, he puts up with her, and she always takes it that he wishes she was the one who had died and not him. And so he kind of guilts her into going because he believes that his son didn't kill himself, and he's like, you should go, you know, find out what happened to your brother. You owe this to me, blah blah blah. And of course, she's just so caught up in the feeling like inferior. She wants to do something for her father to make him believe in her. She goes. I had a really good time with that one. There's a little bit of science fiction-y kind of stuff going on there, but it's mostly a murder mystery. Had a really good time with that one. And then I don't know what possessed me, but I decided that I wanted to read another manga series, and I decided on Attack on Titan. So I did all of the research and find out how many books there are, and everything. And of course, I find out that there's 34 volumes, and each volume has little episodes. There's a total of 134 episodes spread out through 34 volumes. I didn't know anything about it. That is it's terrifying. Like, it's just creepy. It has to do with this city that's the last of humanity, because all of humanity 100 years ago was attacked by these titans, these really giant beings, and those beings, their only purpose in life is to literally devour and eat humans. And here it is, the present, and suddenly out of nowhere is this Colossus Titan, which is double the size of all of the other Titans, and he is able to crash through their giant wall. They built this wall that was too high for the regular sized Titans to get over, and they're kind of dumb, so they don't plan ways of climbing the wall. They're just, they're considered to be unintelligent and only thriving, only thinking about devouring humans. And but somehow this Colossus Titan shows up and he breaks through the wall, and now that there's an opening, these Titans are coming in and they're eating the rest of the people. And there's these other younger people who are kind of in like a semi-military kind of thing, and they've been training for this whole hundreds of years. They've been training, and they kind of get complacent because they're like, well, nothing's happened in 100 years. They can't even climb the wall. They weren't expecting this Colossus Titan, but they've been training, and they would send out people scouting to go kind of observe the Titans and find out more about them and how to kill them and stuff, just in case something happened. So that's kind of what is going on now. These Titans got in because the Colossus Titan opened a big old hole in their wall. And there's like 3 walls, like the outer wall, and then a second wall, and then the last inner wall. So they've only gotten through that first wall. Anyway, but they're terrifying the way that they're drawn. They're just spooky. Like, I don't know. I didn't know what it was about. And then I was like, they're eating people. Like, one character's mother got munched on, like literally 3-4 pages in. And I was like, well, I've got so many more books to get through, but I'm really interested. It's different. It's weird. I never would have expected this, but I'm having a good time with it, and I'm definitely going to keep going. So I'm planning on just reading those throughout the year, just in between other books that I'm reading. There are some, I don't know what they call them, but like kind of like spin-off series that I'm probably going to also read after I get through the main series. So I'm having a really good time with Attack on Titan. And let's see, the author on that, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but it's Hajime Asayama or Isayama. So far, a very interesting horror manga. because my library has like adult manga, and then they've got the teen section, the young adult section of manga separated. So, and this was in the teen, so I guess it would be considered young adult. But my goodness, to me, it was just like kind of terrifying. But I'm really glad that I decided to get into manga, because I never thought I would be reading graphic novels or comics, and I'm just having a really, really good time with those. So that's what I'm reading now. I'm about to start the third volume of Attack on Titan. Yeah, so that's basically what I've finished so far. I really enjoyed everything that I read, except for the Dying Up Loose Ends by Maggie Sefton. That one was just like a wah, wah, wah. But everything else I really enjoyed. But out of all of those, only one was a book that I actually owned. So I need to get on the ball and start reading things that I own. But I couldn't help myself. When I was at the library returning a couple of those first 2 volumes of Attack on Titan, I was wandering just because I'm there and why not. And I ended up in the children's section. The age range would be like ages 9 through 12 children books. And I saw this just sitting on the shelf kind of sideways. And I thought, that is such an adorable cover. I'm getting it. So this is The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding by Alexandra Bracken. And there's a second one, The Last Life of Prince Alistair, which is part 2. It's just 2 books in this series. And I can't show you the other one because my phone is actually sitting on it. But I have both of them. Like I said, I shouldn't be checking out more books, but I did. I'm probably going to take these ones really, really slowly, because I also want to start reading. Actually, I have started. I'm only like a couple chapters in. I want to start reading all of the books by Blake Crouch, the same way that I did a while back with Michael Crichton. Blake Crouch has put out several books recently that have become like just really, really popular, like really just shooting him up to the bestseller lists. And but I want to just go way back to the very beginning and just read everything in publication order. So the first one that I am reading right now, like I said, I just started, I'm only a couple of chapters in, is called Desert Places. It seems to be kind of like a thriller. It's described online as a thriller / horror. And so far, all I know what's going on is somebody left a note to this author. I guess he writes like crime novels, and he's gotten like letters before from fans, claiming that they committed a murder in the same way that he did in one of his books, and this and that kind of thing. So he gets this note from somebody saying, there's a girl buried in your backyard. I'm going to tell you exactly where it is. There's a marker and everything. She's going to have your fingerprints and your blood on her body, and this the weapon is going to have your fingerprints, and if you don't do everything that I say, I'm going to tell the police that this was you, that where all of this is, where it can be found, and you're going to go to prison. So they're framing him for whatever reason, and they're making him kind of go on this hunt through his backyard to find this body. He's thinking it's a joke, but he's just like a little weirded out enough to go actually look, and sure enough, there's a dead body. That's where I'm at in the story. I don't know what's going to happen after that, but it's really interesting. It's a very short book, so I should get through it rather quickly. That's where I'm at. That's what I've done as far as reading, and I am going to try to read more more books that I actually own. I will see you all next time and let you know what else I'm reading. Bye.